You have to walk the talk. You have to be authentic as a leader. If you're not doing it, they see that.
It is entirely universal. There's other people who are going through this.
For me, a great leader needs to be able to marry three things: vision, systems, and people.
Welcome to Leadership Moments. If this is your first time, and if you are returning, thank you for your support.
This show is about leaders from all walks of life, leadership tips, and maybe even a little of what you wouldn't expect to help you in leadership.
We would appreciate it if you tell someone else about our podcast as we strive to support all leaders that want to just be better.
Let's get on with the show.
Today, our guest is Linglong He. Linglong brings over 25 years of experience in leadership and technology. In her current role, Linglong leads Rocket Data, driving the vision, strategy, and execution of data initiatives. Previously, Linglong co-founded Rocket Central, where she served as president and chief operating officer. Before that, she was chief information officer at Rocket Mortgage. Under her leadership, Rocket Mortgage was recognized as Computer World magazine's top place to work in technology for 6 consecutive years. Linglong holds board positions with the Asian Pacific American Chamber of Commerce, the International Leadership Foundation Michigan chapter, and the University of St. Thomas Graduate Program in Software Engineering. She is also a board member of Agree Realty, ADC, and serves on the ChoiceTel Executive Advisory Council. Her accolades include the 2023 North America United Global Women Association's Globe Outstanding Women Award, the 2023 ILF National Business Leadership Award, and induction into the 2022 Michigan Businesswoman Hall of Fame. She has been recognized as one of Crane's 100 most influential women, received the 2018 D Business Champions of the New Economy Award, and named as CIO of the Year by Benzinga in 2018. We're going to talk about being a minority in the C-suite today, how you can do it too, or help others achieve this as a fellow leader. Let's jump in. Linglong, thank you for being a guest on our episode today. I am super excited. I've known you for many years. I've been able to work with you. I've been very, very fortunate that way. And I am excited to be able to offer to our listeners your expertise and your advice as we talk through today. And the first thing that I want to dig into is how you are an Asian woman and a minority senior leader. You've had so much experience as a senior leader. And I've even had clients that have come to me that are minorities and struggle. And I know you've had a lot of people come to you with helping them with leadership as a minority. And I'd love for you to talk about that a little bit to start, of how do you overcome that? What advice do you have? And think about leaders that aren't minorities but want to help minorities too in your answer when you talk about that, so people can take away something of how they can also be a better leader for the minorities as well.
First of all, thank you for having me, Stacy. I'm excited to be here with you to talk about all the topics here we're talking today. Interesting, the question I just asking, I have that question all the time. People come to me, ask a question, hey, Linglong, how you be who you are today? In the typically in the past time, I usually say, hey, no difference. We're all the same person. I mean, why? I mean, I'm the Asian, I'm the woman. There's no difference with other people. But really go deep. It is. We are have a difference there for everybody. And as a matter of fact, everybody is different. And when we, as an Asian woman, people typically they think you are. Sometimes we have an internal external barrier. So people, you could be like a very strong internal. You don't feel like a different than anybody else. Like I typically don't. But the environment, the society, the organization could be treating you differently. Even you think you are actually no difference with anybody. You're gonna bring your IQ, your EQ, your voice to the table. But people could be treating you differently. And even people actually treat you same. They feel, hey, you can bring the voice. Sometimes people come talk to me all the time, especially a lot of women leaders that called imposter syndrome, right? You don't feel you can do that. I keep that story, tell people sometimes as a woman, as a young girl, if you get 80 out of 100, you feel so bad. You feel so bad because you've taken so much hard on yourself. Where are those 20 points? But sometimes in the flip side, then boy get 80 out of 100. They also look at me. I'm so good. I got 80 out of 100. That's the sometimes difference. We put hard for ourselves. So on back to so first I want to say woman. As a woman, is we let's make sure we don't have that internal barrier first. Because the people other people are going to treat us the way they see how we treat ourselves. We need to have that confidence. When you go to in the room, in the conference room, people invite you there. Don't sit on the corner. Don't it's okay. You sit in the middle of the table. You are for a reason be there. And speak. There's no stupid question or the mind just because you want to be yourself. You don't want to try to acting smart. You don't want to be acting somebody else. You want to be you. Everybody unique there, regardless you're a man or woman. Now, I want to talk about a different intersection as Asian woman. Of course, especially when I was coming many years ago, over 30 years ago, I was immigrated here. There's a language, the barrier. There's a cultural barrier. Sometimes when you talk to people, you have no clue what they're talking about. When they're talking about football, I have zero clue what they're talking about. The football in China is different. But how to connect through the bridge, how to connect us to the people actually have different culture. Try to understand it because there are sometimes we have connected as a universal. Without actually have different culture, different race, it's okay. Think about the music. Think about the kids. You still can connect yourself. End of the day, I want to say, do not belittle yourself and have confidence. Have to be there because we all contribute in the way for the big outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. So many nuggets in there. So I want to talk about the language barrier before I forget. So I want to tell a story, and you might not even remember this, but years ago we were working on something and we did a thing called one-pagers. And, if you follow how Amazon does business or anyone else, we were doing one-pagers to represent some products we were trying to represent and what that could look like. And you asked the question with a room full of other leaders, and you said, I don't understand this concept, one-pager. Like, is that even proper English? And all of us look at each other in the room. We're like, no, it's not proper English, but it is just a way that we say it. We had to explain it. And it was really cool that you paused and you said, how does this make sense? I don't understand this terminology that we're using. And we actually had a realization ourselves of like, yeah, it's just kind of a thing that we say and it doesn't really make sense, but we came to an understanding. And I love that you had the guts to say that. And you do that all the time, by the way. Like that is how you work for people that have not worked with you. You have no fear, at least not externally, in asking questions like that to be able to understand so you can show up the best way that is possible for you and your authentic self. And that's what so many people love about you. And I know that they come to you to say, how do you do it? Right? Because it's not easy. They have that imposter syndrome. So do you remember that story? When you did that?
I've actually, Stacy, you and I working together for many years because I feel maybe it's advantage actually sometimes because I do not understand. I want to know understand. So I'm sure actually other people maybe have a different question, the different scenario, not except for one page for this particular, but they do not want to asking. They are supposed to be understand English beautifully. I'm asking all the time because even today, I also be very grateful when people willing to teach me. People teach me slang all the time. Sometimes even like the bad words, swear word. I thought is okay words. I'm reusing that, but people are gonna laughing so loud, saying like, you're not gonna use it and that in certain way. It's okay. I think it's just to be vulnerable. Be who you are because I think when you be vulnerable, you're not gonna be try to acting perfect. People are willing to teach you. I think if people, I think In my past career, Stacy, I have so many people. My team member teach me all the time, not just on the English and the culture, everything. I feel I actually really enjoy and I feel great about that. That also is connect you, right? Connect us to other people.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Right. And then you enable other people to be vulnerable too, because they're like, okay, if a senior leader, a C-level executive can talk like that and ask those questions and be vulnerable like that, I can be vulnerable too. And I can ask those questions that maybe I would be normally scared of asking with other senior leaders around. So you enable others by doing it. And it's kind of that continuous learning mentality, which you need to be as a leader. Like you never stop learning, even to the point that I know that you've even taken, like you've been in this country for so many years, you've been a C-level leader, and you chose to take additional English classes so you could continue to improve your English language. And I commend you for that. Like that is so wonderful. And you tell everyone around it, you're like, yeah, I feel like I need to do better. So I'm doing this class so I can learn more. So one, I just want to say thank you. And I think that that's huge and a good learning for our listeners of when you show that vulnerability, you are enabling other people to do it too. Because I know that it helped me bring up things in meetings that normally I would be uncomfortable asking because I knew that you'd be okay with it, you know? So, and that kind of leads to the authenticity. Big believer in being authentic and being yourself. And, what are some ways that you would recommend to people and to leaders or people wanting to be in leadership of how to really know yourself to bring your authentic self?
That's a huge topic. I'm glad you're asking, actually, Anastasia. I mean, first, I want to point to the very obvious. Nobody wanted around with the people, fake people, right? Or people want to be real. People want real. I mean, whatever you say, even maybe it's not the best answer for that moment, but people want to know what you're real thinking. And authenticity, when you mention that, say, hey, how be C-level? In my mind, there's no difference between C-level or even for new interns. People should be, because we all from different stages, different expertise in certain area. It is sometimes, I mean, we, we talk about this all the time. Is about what is right, not about who is right, right? So it's really authenticity, because authenticity starting to help people trust you. Because the people, when you be vulnerable, being authentic, people know who you are for real. They're gonna be real to you. They are not going to be acting, be fake. So that is the number one foundation, the foundation for the fundamental for people. Two people can build a relationship together. Be authenticity. You. I cannot even imagine anybody want to actually hang around, working around with the people actually always acting somebody else. You don't want to. But even possibly you are not the best version you wanted to be. Because when you be authentic, you possibly want the best, but you possibly you are the B minus player. Even you want to be A plus, player. So what? Because when you acting who you are for real, you people know how to help you because they know where you are. They can help you. But if you already acting A plus, they don't know possibly they possibly not offer you, help you, support you because they thought you are there. So it's so important authenticity, and I see people all the time is almost my pet peeve if people not be real, because I don't want to waste the time. It's not just me. I think anybody else don't want to waste time. It's so people are gonna scared. If I be real, people gonna be thinking not smart enough, or I'm not good enough. Well, if that's the case, there's two reasons. Could it be you are really not good enough? Then you actually try to getting better every single day. Or you are good enough, they don't think you are not good enough. Then you actually even more so you need to act. You don't need to act in something else. You just be who you are for real to make the impact, bring your voice and the value to the table. Is not acting. Don't, because everybody else already be taken.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that you earn more respect when you can be vulnerable, when you can say, wait a minute here, I'm not sure I understand this, or I'm not sure I can do this by myself. I need to learn and understand this. Who can help me? You learn more respect that way. So I completely agree with you. And the other piece that you talked about was you're invited to that room for a reason. And don't sit in the corner. And if you're not totally comfortable sitting at the end, then sit in the middle. But I've heard you say, even to me sometimes, but you say a lot to people, if you're in that room and you're not talking, why are you even there? And I love that because you're right. You need to speak up. Now, you need to be intelligent about what you say, and you need to think about and be thoughtful and make sure it's actually, moving the meeting forward and the agenda progress forward. But I think that's a really important thing. Would you like to talk a little bit more about that and some thoughts around that for people and what you've seen?
Absolutely, especially for woman leadership. I want to talk about that because when you in the room, a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm going to bring my ears," which is great. You should. I mean, we all should be active listener to understand it, how the people to share. However, if you already don't feel confident enough, when you walk in the room, you feel silent. When you walked out the door, what do you get achieved? You get your knowledge, but what is the perception for other people? So I think that self-advocacy is very important for the women leaders, even for women, for everybody. If you have something you wanted to share, don't afterthought. After meetings, oh, I thought about that. Actually, I want to share something, but I'm afraid. You have to say something because, but don't say just for say, but you have a thought. You feel you have a valid point. I encourage everybody to say, to speak out. Reason is every single thing you have a three. I could say you have a three for the important thing for any meeting. Number one is meeting self. Could it be project, could be initiative, whatever you contribute. Second, and the third, second is you want people, you are in a meeting, people see what is this person's competency, how much she is confident to contribute. If you by listen whole time, don't say anything, how actually people get that? Third, yes, we all talking about a relationship, build a trust relationship with the people. By say nothing, no interactive, how you build a relationship? So don't waste the time in the meeting because you want to achieve the three goal in the same time. Number one, get whatever on the agenda. Okay, for that, through that agenda items, either the project or whatever you want to do, because when you speak out, you accomplish another two goal. Another two goal is people see your competency. You do that's the self-advocacy. The third goal is by your personality, your who you are, your humor, your real, your authenticity. You start and build a relationship. So I want all the women leaders, whoever you understand that, don't waste the time. Use called one meeting. I can't achieve the three goals same time.
I love that. I love that. And for other leaders, and it could be the male leaders, it could be other female leaders. I want to share this story that you may or may not remember, but it was the second day that I was working with you. And so I was with the company only 2 days, and we had a senior leader meeting, and it was about 30 to 35 senior leaders in the room. And we were talking about some topic, and, there was brainstorming going on in the room, and people were giving their thoughts. And you look at me and you said, "Stacy, what do you think?" And I'm like, I don't even know the names of the people in this room. I don't even know some of these things. But what that did is you said, "Stacy, you have a seat at this table. And you don't, you earned it through the interview." Like a lot of times when you start at companies, people feel they have to earn their seat at the table. No, you earned it by getting the job. And you had a seat at the table the day you walk in. And so that taught me a lot, and that enabled me to start speaking up faster and more with being a new team member within the organization. So that's just a lesson to other leaders of what you can do to help people speak up and talk out and make it safe for them to do that. So I don't know if you remember that, but I just want to say thank you for doing that. It was really, really impactful.
Thank you for saying that. Absolutely so important. Especially I I see sometimes the leaders, especially even in our company, they have, there's a executive leadership team, name we call Z team, whatever. But sometimes I see the new member, new female woman got in there, female. They are very like sitting in the corner, whatever. I always make the effort, go there, say hi to them, welcome to the team. It's so important is I want to encourage, even say more. It's not just that for women, for anybody, for people new that come in, make sure they feel great by be part of the team. It's not just to encourage them. I want to talk this to anybody else, or you're possibly already in the senior position. You're possibly already people but when you see much like a younger or the newer the member to the organization, make sure they feel, yeah, just you said, have that bridge for them, have that hand for them, can starting to feel comfortable in the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. All right, let's transition a little bit to how you have transitioned in your career. So, you've been in technology most of your career, you've been CIO, but then you also moved over to COO, you've been leading executive development at a time. So, you did a lot of switches within your career. And during that time when you've done that, most of the people around the table have been men too. And you might have been the only woman or very few women, but not only being one of the few women, also completely out of your element, meaning like been in technology and now you're leading all of operations for an organization or whatever that may be. So can you talk a little bit about how can you do that successfully? What would you give advice to leaders when they're moving from one type of role to another that's completely different?
Yeah. Thank you, Stacy, for that question. Because there's actually two things I want to talk about. One thing is really how to you are around man, you feel like how you can acting or, bring the same value. Second is if you change the role from one role to different role. Why come to come to USA? I was, I was students. I mentioned that. So I got the technology. I was first program for all my company, do the program. So because there's a communication barrier, I feel like I rather deal with the system more than deal with the people. So I can speak less, typing more. But, the however, when time go fast, or the 2010, I took the CIO position. It's totally different because I have to elevate you how to be the business leader, not just technology leader. You have to deal with the people all the time, right? But in my it's interesting when a lot of people ask me that question, say, Linglong, how you acting differently around men, whatever. My internal, I have less barrier. I'm just to say I have that little bit of advantage. I don't in the funny way, in my previous leader, in the technology leaders, I call the house leaders. Typically is 8 of them, 4 women, 4 men. Okay, it's not like that I did on purpose, but it come more balance. I thought myself is a mutual person. Even I'm in the female the leaders because I don't feel like I don't see any. I feel like in typically a lot of people think a woman is more less or I think I'm a woman, I'm just biased because we have like the spaghetti connection in the brain. We need to think about the kids, think about the dinner, have to put a makeup on, have to, off and how to get a job done. I mean, people say that God, God, it is fair, give everybody 24 hours, but give woman different is we took even for this podcast took me at least extra 30 minutes because I need to put my hair up. For the man 15 minutes, right? So we all have 24
Yeah.
hours, but for women out of a door they need at least extra half hour to 1 hour. For men take a 15-minute shower, boom, come out. So that's the difference. So with less hours, and we have deal with so many, whether you think about kids, the husband, the team member, the job get it done. Think about how woman capable. I mean, just so much capable because a lot of we're very spaghetti connect everything together. That also communicate. I don't understand. People say, are you have a confidence? I feel like you should be more confident. I want to talk to the woman to listen to this podcast. You should have a much more confident because you're the CEO at home because you have deal with all the stuff. Your leader is just an organic leader anyhow. The kids have to listen to you. And don't under your capability. You don't underestimate what you can do. I want to say that. So you ask me this question, how I deal with the. I remember I was a CIO. Um, our company have whatever many years and the number one by computer world. So I was kind of be invited to the Gartner for the front boat. They invite like a 30 CIO among the 8,000 CIO to have this talking about like all the fancy place. So I was invited. I remember this. You're gonna laughing because I was late for the meeting. Meeting started from the lunch. Have a lunch first, and I'm gonna have 1 o'clock. I was late, so I didn't get a chance to go to hotel, change my suit. I usually go to suit for this meeting, but it just maybe like a tennis shoes, jeans, walking in there. Think about that time. People didn't even know me yet. I was possibly just got like a CIO for 2 or 3 years. I have this Chinese woman walk in. The only 30 people, they're very, very, I mean, only woman, just like I said, you possibly know that. It's funny. The guy even walked to me. They thought I'm just went to the wrong room. So almost said, why you are here? Why you here? Why you are here, right? Because they think, but I don't really care. I was thinking, I was okay. I'm coming for the meeting. Then during that afternoon, I have to give speak, talking about how to bring the team together because we're the number one place. I will say that because the confidence sometimes within you have to sometimes you walking in the room, you feel like people make you feel you're not a part of this, but you tell you are part of this. You just be part of not you are not a part of this. You actually gonna teach them. They're gonna learn from you. That's the mindset in my mind. So I'm okay with that actually. So, but I want to my fellow women leaders, women people understand that selling line easy to say, easy to because you have not everybody. I remember my friend Teresa keeps selling on not everybody. I mean, you possibly say it's the same way, but I do want to encourage you though. You have to understand it. I mentioned that women have so much capable. We are doing a lot of things. I don't know why people may sometimes typical maybe taller. Okay, the height or whatever. It's fine. We're all different. We all for different. But I don't want people to think I'm so only just a support woman leaders. I do. So I have a lot of wonderful. One of my mentors is a man leaders. I mean, I do a lot of. I do appreciate. I just want to make sure give people a little bit encourage, a little bit punch. Hey, we can do this. There's no reason. Um, no reason you have to belittle yourself. You look at a mirror. You see, hey, how because people gonna be look at you the way you look at yourself. So you have to be, I mean, you possibly not a pretty, you possibly not don't know how to use nail polish, you don't know how to do the eyelash. So what? So what? Men don't do those anyway. So you know what? So it's fine. So let's just, we are here. Is I know. I mean, Stacey, you're gonna laugh because I'm what I'm living the way. I'm just living the way I'm talking about it. It's all the time. I don't really um I have a lot of argument, maybe a humor argument with some men around me, like a very senior leader. They will say, "Hey, Linglong is," I talking back in a very fast in a way. You know me how to I just because I don't feel they're different. I have one of my leader, my mentor, I don't want to mention them here, but in the first year we kind of fighting all the time. Now we're the best friend because they know how I handle that. They know how they acting, so we know how to do that. It's important. Why you didn't mention? Sorry, you didn't mention the portable leadership for how to go CIO, CEO, president, and the CEO. Because I was, went to Rock Central, was around CEO and the president. There's no difference. It's a leadership. When you're CIO, they don't let you start coding anything anymore. No, you actually how to build the high trusted functional team. The team working together. There's no difference when you CEO, when you're the president. Of course, subject expertise could be a little bit different, understandable, because that's your experience, your background is okay. When you do not know, you learn. You hire people, they know how to do it, you learn from them. Because I'm actually take pride to be a student. So there's no problem for me. If I do not know something, I learn something. If I know something, I try to help other people to know. So which is okay. There's no difference but the team is very, very critically important, regardless of why you in which position. Sometimes, because I know that's not only for like C-level leaders, for people like maybe in the first level, second level leaders. A lot of people pay a lot of attention for people they report to. They always say yes to they try, I don't want to say almost a please, try to please people actually they report to on the different level. They pay less attention for the people report to them. But I want to give the lesson to everybody instead. The first team, the people actually, when your peers call first team, but I want to mention that people report to your team is your foundational, is so important because you are only strong for your weak link. If your team is one or two of them not worked out, you possibly move them out. You want the right people in the bus. That is so important from the leadership point of view because you only strong for your weak link. So you wanted everybody together on this. In my career for many, many years, past 30 years as a leaders, I always enjoy my team because almost as a family, always the family. I can trust every single one of them to do things, to talk to people, talk to anybody, talk to CEO, talk to external, internal. I know they can be fully actually represented. I feel good about them. I can fully trust them. That's the huge for anybody leader understand that. But I know a lot of new leaders, they pay a lot of attention for top leaders, not for them, but they behavior, they treat them bad. No, you have spent a lot of time to build, invest your team.
I love that. You're only as strong as your weakest link. I think that's definitely words to consider and think about as you're leveraging your team, making sure that you're using their strengths and how do you counteract everyone's opportunities, right? So we all have opportunities and finding where our opportunities are and the strengths in the team is so important. So really, really good points that you have there. Appreciate that. All right, there's that sound. It's time for our fun questions. Are you ready for our fun questions?
Sure.
All right. The first question is, what is your favorite sound?
I like the sound of a rain, and not like a heavy like a cat and a dog, but the rain just that make me feel calm, make me thinking more. I love that.
Yeah, I would agree. There's nothing better than listening to the sound of
Suffer
some
rain.
nice rain at a
Nice
steady
rain.
pace.
Yeah,
Yes,
steady pace.
absolutely.
Make you very good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they have so many apps that have that too, right? That you can listen to it too.
Yeah,
It's not the
absolutely.
same as the real thing, but I agree with you. Great. All right, next question is, if you could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be?
I would like to be the dancer. I love to dance already myself. Yeah, but I just like free spirit. You can dance any way you want to dance. Not I can dance actually, but nobody want to watch it. We're not that good. But I love to be. If I be instant be expert, I like to be a dancer. Yeah, professional dancer, just so beautiful, so freedom.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. See, now this whole time you've been talking about having confidence and doing things, and you're like, nobody would want to watch me dancing. I don't know. I beg to differ on that. I think people would want to watch you. I think it'd be beautiful.
Professional. So Peter, no, my friends, but they want to watch me dance. I talk about pay to go to the theater, to be a ticket.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, Linglong, thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership. I feel grateful and privileged that I've had the opportunity to work directly with you for many years. And I thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge and expertise with our listeners. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here.
If you enjoyed the show, please go to leadershipmomentspodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast or on your favorite player, as well as follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn.
You can also send us a message on what you like and don't like, or what guest you want us to have on the show.
So until next time,
This is Stacey Castor, and what doesn't challenge you won't change you.
and I'm Tracy Ann Palmer. Be the change you wish to see in the world.